All right, lesson 1.3. In this lesson, what we're going to be doing is talking about how to relate or basically change from SI to imperial units. So, like I said, that'll be the focus. In Canada, we use a system of measurement called SI. The SI system. The SI system of measures is based on powers of 10. And so that's why a lot of people argue that it's a little bit easier than any other systems. You have to remember any bizarre conversion factors. Just you either have a certain amount, like 10 millimeters, 1 centimeter is equal to 10 millimeters. You have 100 centimeters equal to 1 meter. Everything's in tens, makes life a lot easier. However, many manufacturing sectors and business, as we looked before, still use the imperial system of measurement, which is commonly used in the United States. So even though it may be easier to use metric in some people's opinion, it's not always used. All right. So this little chart I have right here is also a conversion sheet that's on your formula sheet. So keep this handy. Keep this handy. While either doing your assignment, or I suppose you could have your formula sheet out too. Okay. So let's do a couple examples and just show you how we can move from one to another. The method I'm going to use for the couple of examples that I've given you is going to be the unit analysis, the unit cancellation one. All right. So let's get cracking here. A Canadian football field is approximately 59 meters wide. What is the measurement to the nearest foot? So if we have 59 meters, that we're going to multiply by something such that we can try to get meters out of here, because if you look, those meters will then cancel. Well, let's take a look up here on that conversion sheet. Do we have something that can convert from feet to meters? Well, the one that I am going to key in on right now is this one right here. I know that 1 meter is equal to 3 1/4 feet. All right. So if I just multiply those together, then I'm going to be off to the races. You'll notice that my answer will be in feet right there, and so I'll be happy. So I can write equals, it's going to be a certain amount of feet. Get out my calculator. Alright, and since it's 3 1/4, that one's really easy to put into your calculator. Just go 3.25. You could write it as an improper fraction if you want, make that 13/14, whatever. And so I'll multiply this by 59, and we get 191.75 feet. Alright, so very easy. You're going to see that this lesson is going to be probably one of the quickest ones that we'll do, maybe this entire unit. Alright, so that was going from meters to feet. Let's try a different example here where we go and convert from miles to kilometers. So here's the scenario. Timmy drove 144 kilometers north, and Seth drove maybe 68 miles. Who drove further? Right. So there's two different ways of doing this. What we can do is we can convert the distance Seth drove from miles to kilometers, or convert the distance Timmy drove from kilometers to miles. So let's deal with the first one, method 1 here. We'll start out with the 68 miles that Seth drove. And so therefore we're going to multiply by something that has miles in the denominator. So kilometers will go up here. I'll go back to my conversion factor here. What I notice is the one that I'm going to use is that we have 1.6 kilometers is worth 1 mile. So let's write that one down. We have 1.6 is worth 1 mile. And if we multiply those on across, we'll see the miles will cancel. You'll be left with kilometers. And we have 68 times 1.6 is 108 kilometers. So at this stage in the game, all right, it's easy to see that clearly Timmy drove further. The second way of doing it would be to convert Timmy's distance. So he started with 144 kilometers, and since we want to get rid of the kilometers, it will go down here. I will still use the same conversion factor. You could have used the other one. Notice that there will be 2 on that page if you go back. I'm just going to put the 1 up here and the 1.6 down here. This time we'll take 144 and divide by 1.6. And we have a solution of 90 miles. And so either way you do it, from either one of these answers, we can say that Timmy drove further. If I gave you a question like this on the test, it wouldn't make any difference to me which way you went about it. I just wanted to show you that there's two different ways. Okay. Another, I know you're probably saying, wow, I hope this course is like this all the way through because this is easy so far. It does pick up, but right now I must appreciate it's fairly easy. All right, solving a problem that involves unit conversion. I'm recording this in August right now, and I'm guessing that even though we're a weekend, people have probably started making fun of my height because that's normally what happens, and so I developed a height question. Mr. Johnson is really quite tall. He's approximately 6 feet 7 inches tall when standing on a 1-foot stool. Convert his height to centimeters. Once you're finished, estimate to justify if your answer is reasonable. Well, let's give this a try. So we have my height being 5 foot 7 inches. All right, it's very, very tall. And we want to convert that and put it into centimeters. So let's figure out first of all how many inches we have. Well, this one you can write it out, but I think we can probably just do this in our head. If we know that there's 12 inches in 1 foot and we have 5 feet, 12 times 5 is 60. Add the 7, we have 67 inches total. So now I'm going to take that information, I'm going to do a unit conversion here. We have 67 inches, and we want to get inches down here. Okay, so I'll go back to that sheet at the beginning. And let's look at something that converts inches and centimeters. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? Let's use that one right there. Okay, works out nicely. 1 inch is equal to 2.5 centimeters. Okay, that's a good one to remember too, because there's been lots of times when I've been doing my little bit of construction at home when it's useful to know what the case is there. So 67 times 2.5. We get 167.5 centimeters. Okay. Now, what I'll have happen is sometimes people will get these things mixed up. So they might have put the 1 inch up top and the 2.5 down there. And so if you had done that here, you would have been dividing by 2.5, and you would have said that I'm something like 30 centimeters tall. And while some of you think that that may be the case, check the answer to make sure it's reasonable. All right, because I will get some bizarre answers. I'll get someone that told me that I'm 10 million centimeters tall, and they'll think that that's fine because that's what their calculators spit out. So make sure you check to make sure it's reasonable. All right, I got a beautiful picture here of a tractor trailer smoking into looks like a bridge or something like that. When you're driving under a bridge, you may have noticed that they have clearance signs to make sure semi-trailers do not hit them. If you were a truck driver and your truck was 3.5 meters high and you came upon a sign that says the clearance is 11 feet 9 inches, would you be able to fit without smoking the bridge? Well, this could be an actual scenario. I don't know this. Maybe you have someone from Canada who knows what their height is in meters going to the States. Who knows? All right. So let's see. Where do we want to start for this? I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'll convert. Maybe I'll write down what I'm going to do just so you have a note of it. I will convert 3.5 meters to feet / inches to determine if the truck will fit. Now, of course, you could have gone the other way. Could have converted 11 feet 9 inches to meters. Really makes no difference. So we start with 3.5 meters. Okay, and we know that in 1 meter, let's go take a look. I believe it's 39, but I could be wrong. 1 meter has 39 inches. Okay, so let's deal with that. 1 meter has 39 inches, so those meters will cancel. And if we multiply those together, we have 136.5 inches. All right. Now, since we're in inches, if we take that 136.5 and divide it by 12, we're going to get 11 feet. Okay. And then if you remember what I said, when you have that remainder, the 0.375, you can take, okay, just this portion right here. If you multiply it by 12, it'll tell you how many inches you have left over. And so I have 4.5 inches. Alright, so if you keep in mind what we converted the truck's height. So we found that the truck's height was 11 feet and 4.5 inches. Will that fit under the 11 feet 9 inches? Yep. Not by a lot, but it definitely will fit. So we would say that, therefore, the truck will fit. Okay. This will be the last lesson that we are dealing with, basically measurement conversions. The next thing that we'll move on to is volume and surface area.